you are sick, I pray that you are healed immediately. If it's your birthday, I pray that you celebrate like you've never celebrated before. And wherever you are, help somebody, because when we help others, we help ourselves. Salute to Ngutu, the widow, in the small little village called Naibohanzi, in a village of Kenya, Africa, and Sunshine Shoulders all the way over in the Philippines. It's so glad to be back before you again. I am 10 times a day, better known as 10. And this is our live stream. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share and comment on the videos. I just want to come back and give y'all a little taste of what I've been given. And I want to reiterate that I represent and one of the representatives of the Emergency Shelter Investments Initiative, where I am a fellow pioneer. We believe it is our duty to wake our fellow men and women up to the beauty that is called unity, and also to acknowledge the Constitution of the United States of America and the importance of all men are created equal, and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Land of the free, home of the brave, no taxation without representation. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your precious time in viewing our humble stream. And we are still on this series dealing with the importance of adults to also have uh, fun and creative entertainment for adults. And we left the last stream speaking of the need to be responsible for our adult time, especially if we have children, and the need to make sure they are tucked in and make sure that one of your family members, responsible family members, are watching over them as you take your adult time that you have every right to. And when we say adult time, that means adult entertainment. You might want to go to a club where you have beautiful women dancing in scantily clothed bikinis. You might, your adult time might be at a comedy club where adult language is used. I started these conversations by accident dealing with my illegitimate biological twin, King James After Dark. He is at least my age because, like I said, we are illegitimate biological twins. We were not raised in the same house. And I know they're not telling a lie because we look just alike, except that he dresses totally different and acts totally different. And the family had been beating him up, and he's turning out to be one of the most successful members of our family. And it just so happens that it's been going good to the point to where our parents are getting along. My mother is getting along with his mother, even though our dad fathered us through another woman. There's still no love lost in the family. And I think sometimes, you know, you can put a dirty glass up and nobody will drink out of it. But if you put it up against a clean glass, people will drink out of the clean glass. And with all of the negative, dirty stuff happening, the pandemic and all the political situations, the government shutdown and the economic crisis, someone that we least expected, my illegitimate biological twin, and he's done videos on this channel because, as y'all saw in one of the videos, we are trying to encourage him to not go into a life of crime. And expressing himself musically is a good legal way, and creatively for his videos is a good way for him to keep his sanity. And it's really been giving us hope Those of us around him who always considered ourselves as being the intelligent ones, the ones that had their life, that have their lives together. And I'm just so excited about the future, and I'm so grateful that God had enough mercy upon me to make me not get caught up in he say, she say. I did not judge him. I guess deep in my heart it's selfish because that is my illegitimate biological twin. So when I look at him, I'm looking at myself. And you damn right, I rooted for him to come out of the slump he was in and get from around those dangerous characters that were taking him off to a point to where he could have been incarcerated for the rest of his life, like so many men in the world who are frustrated, especially with their finances, if they're not shown the right path, or if they don't see the right path, or if they don't choose the right path, they could easily end up incarcerated or in prison. And I'm sure we all know that. That is, but what we don't really talk about as much as we should is the adults' need for adult entertainment. When I was coming up, and still to this day, if I'm not mistaken, rated R movies, you're not supposed to be under 17 watching a rated R movie. See, that's our government showing responsibility for its citizens, because when your brain hasn't fully developed as a child or a teenager, you could easily be misled by getting information that you are not ready for, not prepared to hear or see, as far as adult entertainment, as far as corn puff videos. You know, you just never know what state a person's mind is. That's why you got to be a certain age to drink alcohol. See, yeah, we're going to be dealing with this for a long time. And a lot of my close friends are what I call religious friends. And I always say that we at Emergency Shelter Investments refuse to be put in a religious box. I'm speaking for myself. When I say I believe in God, I'm talking about the spiritual positive force, our conscience that says, help that old lady across the street, or there's a child whose parents have passed away that doesn't have any guidance. Help him, guide him, feed him, try to give him or her instruction, because I believe what goes around comes around. You can't put that in a religion. All I believe in is not black or white, it's wrong or right. Even little children know the difference between right and wrong. You know, I don't know what y'all call it, but I just call it trying to live right, trying to be the best I can be. And that's when I say, thank God for this day, or, you know, I believe in God. What I'm saying is, I believe that there is an unlimited, powerful creator, an almighty spiritual force, an unseen force that loves us. And a lot of people call it God. I call it God, but I'm not in no religious box. I'm just looking at reality. You think about how long you can go without eating food. Then you think about how long you can go without drinking water. But then you think about how long you can go without breathing air that you cannot see. I believe God is above the air we breathe, and you cannot see it. You cannot see that powerful force. Like I told my daughters, I did not get no eyes and nose and ears and bone and ball you up and put you in your mother's stomach and get on a computer and say you're going to be born in 9 months, or you're going to start walking when you're 1 year old. You know, I didn't get no skin and veins and cells and molecules and liver and spleen and kidneys and heart and all these vessels and all these different bone connections that we have to connect the hip bone to the ankle bone. It's so complicated. And I didn't even know how many thousands of bones that are just in one human foot. That's why I don't try to get caught up in religion and really politics, even though I refer to the Constitution a lot. My whole life is based on love, the creation and the creator with all your heart, mind, and soul, and do unto your fellow man as you would have your fellow man do unto you. I don't have a problem with drinking a beer every once in a while. I don't have a problem with someone who has a license for medical marijuana. I don't have a problem with someone using a specific drug that might make them feel better. I believe all drugs should be taken and consumed as needed. I believe nothing should be abused. I believe in balance. I mean, if you take too many Tylenols, you take 200 Tylenols and see, your headache will be gone, but you won't be here to realize what happened. So that's the way I live my life. I don't judge people because I don't want to be judged. But I believe what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. If you put your hands on me or my family or my loved ones, I will defend myself. And if the person perpetrating that violence is injured or unalive, then that's on them. I will not feel guilty. I will sleep good at night because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. But we have to deal with this artificial intelligence, y'all, and how everybody is so scared that the automated system and the robots are going to take our jobs. All I can say is what helps me to make it, and it's my faith in the Creator. And I know y'all say, how can you say you're not religious and all you talk about is the creation and living right and treating others right? Well, you call it religion, I call it just trying to be the best person I can be and trying to share information as I get it. Think about AI, artificial intelligence, computers running everything. I have a relative, I will not mention his name, that had his electricity turned off. I think I mentioned the situation in one of the other videos. And we were talking about how in the good old days, you've been doing business with a person for almost 20 years. Back then, you could look a person in the eye and shake their hand. They know who you are. They've been living with you for years. They see you going back and forth to work every day. They know that you good for the money. But nowadays, everybody, including the people with academic degrees, PhDs, will turn your electricity off because their computer says that we must cut their electricity off. The computer says your payment didn't arrive. The computer says we've already given you too many days to pay your bill. The computer don't give a damn that your job payroll ran late. So we're already run by artificial intelligence. We are being governed by artificial intelligence. I have another friend that works for a disposal company, and they better make sure they keep up with that compactor as far as getting rid of that trash. When that compactor is empty, you better not be standing around. You better keep that compactor loaded. You better keep up with that robot. So that robot is dictating the pace of the workload. So you got to work harder to keep up with that machine. Yeah, there's advantages to these robots and this technology and these automated machines and this AI. But the other side of that is that we are forced to be pretty much like a machine. See, a machine don't need no break. And if you try to take a break, the first thing your boss gonna tell you is that we are not producing as much. The machine is waiting on you. It is ridiculous. We're already under the control of robots and systems and numbers that don't give a damn about your life or your children going to the hospital. The machine don't know nothing about your child got a headache or a fever. And I'm just sharing with y'all, like I always say, what helps me to make it. And that is believing and having faith and looking around, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. We're on an earth that weighs 6 sextillion tons floating in space with apple trees, banana trees, coconut trees, strawberry bushes, blueberry bushes. We got cows that do what we say do. We can eat, drink. We can take the wheat and make cakes and desserts. You know, I don't know what your sexual orientation is, but there's beautiful women. And for the women, there are handsome men. And there are people that make us laugh. The creation is beautiful. It's the creation life is supposed to be a blessing. And as I've heard before, if the birds ain't worrying about where they're going to get their next meal from, how could you be worried about artificial intelligence when the power that made you and the power that runs the humans who make the artificial intelligence is the one that loves us, where he gives us the food that we need to eat and the air we need to breathe and the beautiful things and the flowers and the different art and music and different things that we, I say need, but that the things that make life enjoyable and fun and exciting. They say variety is the spice of life. There's so many things to do, so many different ways to express ourselves, so many different ways we can think and act upon our thoughts and create our own artwork, our own technology, our own literature. Life is supposed to be a blessing. And I've always heard, and this is going back to scripture, and I don't like to call myself a religious person, but knowledge is power. I've always heard this scripture, and I've read this scripture in the Bible. As a man or woman thinketh in their heart, so are they. Or all you have to do is think about the life you want to live and take the necessary steps in order to live that life. They also say health is wealth. So many people got more money than me and whoever you are watching this video that wish they had their health and strength. So I'm sitting here with all my arms, with my legs. I wear my glasses because my eye doctor said that I have to protect my eyes because I don't have the best vision in the world, but I can still see out of both of my eyes. And I respect my eyes. That don't mean I'm just supposed to go around stabbing myself in the eye with a nail. That don't mean I'm supposed to not respect the vision that I do have. I'm not supposed to walk around and say, well, since I don't have the best vision in the world, I should just stop giving a damn about the vision that I have. I appreciate the vision that I do have. A bunch of us, including myself, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 legs, 2 arms. We're supposed to be applying the gifts that were given to us, that we're so blessed to have, to build the life we want and to create the life. Why do you think you have 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 legs? Why do you think you have 2 eyes, 2 ears? You're supposed to observe. Why do you think you have a mouth? You're supposed to communicate. Why do you think you have a nose? To breathe in the air of life, the breath of life? Because our Creator loves us. It's not black or white, it's wrong or right. Whoever you are, I'm talking to myself as well. We should take every opportunity that we can, at least 10 times a day, to improve our life and to enjoy our life better every day, to have a better quality of life every day, even if it ain't nothing but taking the trash out. There's no excuse not to make improvements in our life, including how we eat, including the friends we pick, including our spouses. I told y'all I wear this ring because I am not going to sit back and lose my mind because a woman chose me and it don't work. I've tried that twice. It didn't work. So I wear this ring so that I don't have to do a lot of back and forth with some woman that I'm not interested in that might be interested in me. I don't want to waste her time, and I don't want her wasting my time. This is a good way to avoid a lot of the unnecessary back and forth. And if it's a woman that I'm interested in, I will let her know the reason why I wear this ring is because I wanted to pick the next woman in my life. You can build the life you want. No matter how much they talk about AI is going to take over and the gold is going down and the economy is bad and they cut food stamps off and we might go to war with this country or that country. The main thing that we have to do is realize that we breathe the same air that Bill Gates breathes. We breathe the same air that Donald Trump breathes. We breathe the same air that Denzel Washington breathes. We breathe the same air that Michael Jordan breathes. We breathe the same air that Elon Musk breathes. The only thing we have to do is enjoy life and apply the gifts we've been given. And the brain is a terrible thing to waste. A lot of y'all might not remember that commercial that used to come on television. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. If you're not thinking about the life you want to live and taking the steps, I don't care how small they are, every day to build and create the life that you want to live, where you can wake up when you want, you can sleep when you want to take a nap, you can go to the bank and get money out when you want, because you are doing what you need to do to create the financial life you want to live and to be able to create the physical life you want to live by applying the gifts that the Almighty Creator gave us, whoever you might call him. I'm not going to let you or nobody else put me or the Emergency Shelter Investments Initiative pioneers in a religious box. We refuse to get caught up on religion or politics. I've got to talk about King James After Dark, and y'all are my witness when you go back and watch the video where his name is mentioned in the title. I talk about how I had to talk about what's going on because the 10 times a day YouTube channel is geared toward the working man and woman in America and around the world who are overworked and underpaid, who are ready to make improvements in their lives financially. And we have come to the conclusion that for us, the best thing for us to do is to share ideas, put our nickels and dimes together, and vote on doable investments for people of our financial status. This is nothing to do with no music or no adult language or no adult, what I want to call it, physical appearances. No nudity, nothing like that will be on this channel. Now, my illegitimate biological twin, King James After Dark, has every right to deal with adult entertainment only. That's who he is. That's what he loves to do, and it's legal. It's so many successful, especially hip hop rap artists that make millions of dollars legally by using adult language. Let's talk about the my favorite movies: Scarface, Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, The Sopranos, all of the what they call gangster movies, American Gangster. All of these movies, the actors are not, in most cases, gangsters. They are not thugs. They're not murderers. They're not extortionists. They're not hostage takers or whatever they want to call it. All the stuff we see in movies that they create to, they say art imitates life. King James After Dark, my illegitimate biological twin, he's got a song where he says he's going to bust a cap in a BITCH's body and bend the corner. And I ask him, do he think that might influence a young child to bust a cap in a BITCH's body? And he says, no. He says, I need you, 10, to help me to get the message out on your YouTube channel that when we as artists say some things, it's not literal. He says that when he says in the song, I think he calls it, uh, don't come around here effing with me. And no, it's hip to the hop. I get the songs confused. I love all his music on the EP. I can't wait for him to finish so that I can direct y'all to his social media, which we're setting up. But in that particular song, hip to hop, HIPTOHOP, he's talking about not busting a cap or pulling a weapon on an actual human. He said, and now this is what started this live today, that he is busting a cap in his negative thoughts that's in his own negative mind. And he started talking about Adam and Eve and religious stuff. And I told y'all I'm not going to be in no religious box. But he was saying in the evening of our thinking, when we make mistakes, that weaker man or that weaker conscience in you that tries to get you to do stuff that you know ain't right. He is busting a cap in negative thoughts. And it's been so heavy on my mind. I don't know if I will ever stop talking about it. I don't even know how long I will be in the position I am in at Emergency Shelter Investments, where we vote on who the president, the treasurer, the secretary, the sergeant in arms, the security, the funding directors. We vote on all those positions. And I don't want nobody labeled as a gangster rapper, you know, with that dressed like my own flesh and blood, my illegitimate twin. And we called him my illegitimate twin because we don't have the same mother. We have the same father, and we were not raised together. And he likes to wear his Chuck Taylors and his khakis and his scarves and his sunglasses. Well, I wear sunglasses, but he likes the flashy stuff. He likes to wear gold grills and vampire teeth, and he has fun doing it, and he's an adult. We cannot have him confusing the people that we absolutely have to do business with in this highly competitive economic world we live in. Now, I don't know, some of the people who wear suits and ties like we prefer to do when I'm not just doing my everyday YouTube videos, I like to wear suits and ties. We're different. We're twins, but we're totally different, if y'all can understand what I'm saying. I'm so glad I got that one point out about how you can't judge art until you understand. What they say, you can't judge a man until you walked a mile in his shoes. And I told y'all, King James After Dark is always reminding me that there are nude, N-U-D-E, paintings in the Vatican where the Pope lives. There are nude paintings in the most civilized, refined, dignified places in the world. In some of the Greek museums, they have nude sculptures where you see the man's private parts and the woman's private parts. You see the woman's breast. We must be able to think and rise above our emotion and walk into our adulthood. We must learn to walk in our adulthood. And that's part of being an adult. Being able to rise above our emotions, being able to step back, take a breath and think and get a second opinion and communicate with other adults as we move to and from this in this world, because we could mess around and miss a lot of the gifts that our Creator has in store for us, whose ways they say are not our ways. Our Creator is so far above us that he can create a black man, a Hispanic man, an Asian man, a white man, a European man, an African man, an Alaskan man or woman. And that's why most people, including myself, we worship and bow down only to our creator that some people call God. I'm so happy that I could get through that part about that busting a cap in a BITCH's body, which King James, I can't wait for them to interview him where he can explain out of his own mouth that he's talking about killing that negative side of him that wants to take a nap, that wants to sleep in the bed longer, that wants to eat that piece of chocolate cake at 3 o'clock in the morning when he should be eating a salad, or when he should be letting his stomach rest. You don't have to eat 15 meals a day like some people try to make you believe so they can make money off of you. Let your stomach rest sometimes. Kill that beast that says, I don't give a damn about being 500 pounds. I'm going to eat that chocolate cake because it tastes good. I'm going to sleep with that woman who I know is married when you know it's wrong because you refuse to bust a cap in that BITCH's behind called your lower conscious, your lower self, your low appetite. Your animal nature rise above emotion into the thinking of our creator, who we as humans are created in the image and likeness of. It's not about religion. It's about reality. Thank you. Don't forget, 10 times a day, hit the like button, the share button, the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let's grow together. As far as I'm concerned, you watching this video, we're all pioneers and we can all make money together. And I just pray that we have the courage to share on this social media our relationship with each other, no matter what our nationalities are. 10 times a day, like button, subscribe, share. And don't forget, in the words of Nagutu, the widow's son, if you are sick, I pray that you are healed immediately. And if it's your birthday, I pray that you have the best time you've ever had before. And in the words of Sunshine Shoulder, both of these people are on YouTube. Sunshine Shoulder is in the Philippines. Nagutu, the widow, is in a small village. I think he moved out of Naibohanzi, Africa, which is in Kenya, to another village, and Sunshine Shoulders is still in San Carlos City in the Philippines. Sunshine Shoulders in the Philippines says, wherever you are, help somebody, because one thing he says he knows for sure, and I believe and I know for sure, that when we help other people, we help ourselves. See y'all next time.